Good morning. I am bringing you another reading of the Crystal Healing Cards and the Seed and Sickle Oracle. And I asked a question that kind of kept me awake last night. So I don't know really quite how I feel about it, other than to say that I felt very compelled, even at 2 in the morning, to bring you a reading today. So this, whether it's important or not, I can't for sure say, but I will say that I don't like what I'm seeing in the cards in some ways. My question was simple. What's going to happen? Why is New York issuing a warning like have your bags packed, be ready to go? And I just found it troubling because my observation of human interaction is that we hear maybe 1/100th of what we hear is the truth, and then the rest of it, 99% of it, is not true. And so that being said, I'm finding that this hits me somewhere for reasons that are complicated, but you can see that I've used my astrology dice as well, because I'm an astrologer, and I first and foremost, that is, I'm professionally trained. And so I want to see really what are the numbers saying, what's the astrology look like? And it's exactly what it should be for the purposes that this reading is going to look at. And so what we start out with is in the first position, comet. What is that saying? Well, it's saying that something is coming in that's going to shake us up. And it's showing an 11, that it is a civic matter. And does it mean 11 today? I don't know, but I don't like that I got an 11 on the 11th. I'm just going to say that on a full moon in Aquarius. I am very Uranian. I have Sun conjunct Uranus in the 8th house, so I feel things very deeply. I see things very deeply. I'm very aware. I've been asked if I'm a time traveler, which I'm not, but there's something in me that sees, and I see so clearly. Then you see next to it, I have the Hawthorn card, which there is Uranus, where it is a tree that looks really kind of burnt out and not really very good. It doesn't look healthy anymore. And you can see it's a hawthorn, and it says number 27, which is going to be partnership, and the 2 is going to be for partnership, 7 is going to be for perhaps theft and loss, and 27 is going to be adding up to a 9, which is going to be loss within humanity. And a hawthorn tree, interestingly enough, is going to be about healing. And you can see it's in Aries, where we're maybe, if you're in New York, you might be in a fight for your very survival if you are there. I just don't know. I'm not going to make a prediction on this. I'm just going to give you an observation, because a prediction is saying that I know something, and quite frankly, I don't. I just have a bad feeling. So I want to be clear about that. I get asked a lot as a psychic and as a reader, do you know the name of my bird that I had 27 years ago and what color it was? I get asked funny questions like this all the time. And so people thinking I have skills I don't have is a really interesting truth. And I want to be clear about that. So then you see this other card, this aconite. And this card, I'm going to just go ahead and get the book, and it's a 4/6, so it's like the 4 corners within family, and it leads to something that is concluding and yet something new. It says you're facing a difficult and painful decision with no right answer readily available, yet in your heart of hearts you already know what you're going to do. Don't agonize over it for any longer than you have to. Named for the hills on which Hercules fought Cerberus in a short but bloody battle. Aconite promises that there is relief to be after the brief and challenging fallout of your decisions. When things seem unbearable, know that this won't last forever. So whatever's coming, it is going to really hurt. And what's really got me troubled is it feels a lot like 9/11, right? And it was on 9/11. Think about that. This is what is this? This would be 8/11. So something powerful and strong and meant to be infinitely more than we can take on a day, the 11th. I don't find these dates to be comforting at all. And then you get this fluorite card, and then you can see that it has Uranus associated. Well, fluorite is going to be associated with your heart chakra as a crystal and a stone, and it has to do with vitality versus anger, like showing up and being alive versus, sitting around thinking that the election was stolen and that we're victimizing. No one's ever a victim in this life. I just have to say that. And Uranus, it's saying that we're going through a revolution of truth. The full moon in Aquarius today says, wake up and look and pay attention because things are about to get interesting. Uranus isn't about anything but the collective and the humanitarian cause. It doesn't have a feeling like, oh, I love you and I want to take care of you. It's not, Uranus is not that planet. Uranus says, get yourself together. We're having a revolution and you better be ready to join or, suffer the consequences. So, and that's kind of where we're all at, where we've got this really uncomfortable process that we're all in, where, for instance, 2 days ago, we saw that a previous president was raided by the FBI for irregularities, I guess, in classified documents. I don't really know, and we won't know until things kind of play out a little bit more. And no matter what, I'm sorry to say, I've seen a lot of videos on TikTok right now that people are coming in and they're saying things like that it's so wrong of the FBI, but we have to have accountability no matter who it is. We do have to have accountability. It's an important thing. And I'm not gonna go after anybody here because I don't know what all is happening. I feel like a lot of this is for show, and a lot of it is to keep us distracted and from being aware of what is true, and allowing for chaos to come in, like possibly today in New York. Don't know for sure, but I don't have a good feeling about it. And I can tell you, I'm pretty close to the veil. I'm stage 4 cancer. I'm in hospice, and I'm quite sensitive. I have a guy that is right on it and stays right with me. So now, does that mean, again, that doesn't mean that I know more than somebody else. I don't. But I can tell you that when you're in the tender state of dying, the truth is we see more, because we just do. Because we're quietly being shown things from the other side for our own personal comfort as this unfolds. So, these are all the reasons why I think you should listen to what I have to say. But be careful, because no one knows it all. Nobody. And I'm uncomfortable, yes, as we all are, because it does seem as though things are happening to us that are rather odd. So with that, I'd like for you to hit the like, share, and subscribe, and join me on this journey. Leave comments, get involved, start saying your piece. I'm a medical astrologer, and don't be afraid because I say I'm on hospice to talk to me. I'm still very, very much alive. I'm showing up, I'm living. And while I'm alive, I prefer to live regardless of all of it. So with that, I thank you so much for joining me here today. And with that, I'm going to end this meeting.